Oklahoma at Cincinnati in Nippert Stadium. I did in fact take Cincinnati plus 14.5 on our preview picks, which is crazy that actually covered. Uh, I don't know. This
The
line
hook,
closed at
man.
13.5, right? This line closed at 13.5. So if you took Oklahoma minus 13.5, you covered, right? And so
The
and you
hook.
obviously were on Oklahoma minus 14.5. Well, tell me, what are your thoughts on this game?
First of all, credit to Cincinnati and that environment they came out with, and they came out kind of firing early. I thought they had some chances in that first half that they blew. They missed a field goal, right? And they had chances, points to be had there, and they kind of slowed down Oklahoma's offense for most of the game. I mean, Gabriel ended up having still over 300 yards. He still did his thing, obviously, but God, that defense is good. And you called it. You said interior pressure. This is why you took Cincinnati, because of the interior pressure that they were going to be able to get on a shorter quarterback like Dylan Gabriel, and it proved exactly how that was it. And Cincinnati's got some good defense. They're going to play well. A lot of teams tough in the Big 12. But yeah, they're a good team. They got a real good secondary. Peyton Bowen, it was nice to see him make some plays.
Freshman.
And yeah, freshman. Yeah, he had a nice pass breakup there. And I mean, I remember Jones played fine. He threw a bad pick. One of the picks was really bad, and they couldn't really get the running game going. And they tried. And credit to Cincinnati for continuing to try. But yeah, I mean, I was expecting a little bit more from Oklahoma, but credit to Cincinnati. It's hard to
Yeah.
win on the road.
Although, I mean, I think I do want to credit like Oklahoma's defense, specifically on like third down, right? For this, so I mean, Cincinnati had 21 first downs, which is the same amount that Oklahoma had, right? If you look a little bit deeper, right? Cincinnati was 3 for 15 on third down and 1 for 4 on fourth down, right? Not getting it when it counts, but also just credit to Brett Venables just dialing it in when it matters. And that's exactly what you hired him to do, right? You hired him to recruit, obviously, but you also hired him. Like, this defense was abysmal last year, right? It's really, really nice to see Brett Venables take a gigantic step forward in a big game like this on the road and capitalize on third and fourth downs, right? And what's crazy, though, is like we talk about Texas and Oklahoma being like higher power, high steam offensive games. Oh, we're going to be taking the over. Dude, I might be licking my chops at the under for that game because both of those teams have shown me that their defenses are pretty good. Their defenses are pretty dang good, both of them. So that's going to be a fantastic game, I think. I do think the interior pressure that Texas is going to bring Oklahoma down the road will be a problem. But also, Texas does. I mean, they have really good defensive line. Do not misconstrue what I'm about to say. All right. But Dante Corleone is a bit of a different animal. He is an absolute monster, right? And he did show that at times. He had a sack, I believe. He gets back there. I mean, but that's why also like in the future, when Jackson Arnold's in there, that's not going to be a problem with his size. It's not going to be as big of a problem. So, look, and if Dylan Gabriel goes down, I'm not worried about Oklahoma in the slightest from what we've seen from Jackson Arnold. That kid is a stud. But yeah, overall, good game from Oklahoma. I mean, fans probably were not liking the 14-point win, but I think this could have been uglier. It could have been. It could have been uglier. But also, I mean, credit to Cincinnati. I think everyone thought that they were going to be absolutely terrible this year, right? Which I said, like, hey, credit to the people that got the over-under win total over 4.5 before it moved 5.5.
That'll hit there. That'll hit for them.
That they're gonna hit there. It looks like it. It looks like they're a pretty solid stinking team. So, uh, yeah, credit to both these teams.
I want to add real quick. Like you mentioned, I thought bringing up the Oklahoma's defense and Brent Venable is obviously a drastic improvement from last year, which we all saw coming. But to see it actually come to fruition is really, really exciting for Oklahoma. And we talked about it last week with Texas in terms of their margin of error just goes up because of their defense is playing well, where they played a game where their offense laid an egg against Wyoming and their defense kept them in the game long enough for their athletes to just overpower, Wyoming.
Yep.
And it's exactly what happened here with Oklahoma. Cincinnati had chances. They should have been up at half. They should have been up 17, or they should have been up 13 to 10. And Oklahoma's defense prevailed in the red zone. And when they got in their half of the field, which they didn't do last year. And that obviously gives you, a certain floor to your team into certain games where you have to play, to wait for your offense to make some plays in the second half, which they ended up doing, with the big long touchdown drive, in the third quarter there. But yeah, credit to Cincinnati. Like you said, they're going to continue to get better. Emory Jones is what he is, but you can win some games in the Big 12. There's some games to be had for sure.